Farmyard Fee.
Good morning, Kick'em Kill'em Kath, and welcome everyone to our next episode of the Adventures of Annaburu Homestead. What are we doing today, Kath?
Well, today I've decided we're going to go on a hike.
Awesome.
On today's adventure, I'm going to be showing you our top 10 hiking tips so that you can have a safe, secure and sound hike. Tip number 1, navigation. Always be prepared with a map and a compass. And know where you're going and stick to the route. Tip number 2, provisions. So make sure that you've got enough food, water and supplies. And I'd like to give a shout out to our mates who are sponsoring us today at Aussie Prepper. Now we've just set off, but before we go too far, I just want to introduce the crew. We're bringing along an experienced hiker, Machinery Mark.
So that would bring us to tip 3 for the day, folks. That's always wear appropriate clothing and footwear. Luckily today, I'm wearing in my new hiking boots.
Oh no. You know what? I'm glad this has happened, folks. Sometimes in the outback, you're going to come across one of the most dangerous obstacles. It's sharp and it's deadly. Barbed wire. This brings us to tip number 4. When crossing through barbed wire, we're searching for the biggest gap. Now if there's someone with you, always get them to give you a hand. But today, I'm going to show you by myself just how treacherous this barbed wire can be. See folks, even me as a trained professional still gets caught sometimes.
You know, that brings me to tip number 5, folks. It's really important that you take a break. Okay, well since we are taking a break now, we're going to need some light refreshments to keep us going for the long trek ahead. So we're going to need some food and some water. Logs like these ones just down over yonder here are terrific for finding maybe a wombat or an echidna. And the echidna spikes are particularly good as toothpicks after the meal. If we just...
Or you could just use the hunger bus that we got from our mates at Aussie Prepper.
Or, yeah, or we could just eat what's in our ration pack.
Alright, tip number 6. Seeing as we're going to be having something to eat, we're going to need to make a fire. Starting a fire is an essential skill. Now there's a very fine line between starting a fire and starting a bushfire. So I'm just going to collect some firewood and see if I can get a fire going. This usually works. It's just a little bit damp. What? Oh. Or we could use the gas.
Well, thanks to our good friends at Aussie Prepper, looks like no one's going hungry here today. Okay people, so tip 7 for the day is basic self-defense. It's really important because you never know what you're going to encounter out here in the Australian outback.
Lucky for us, we're highly trained in martial arts and weaponry.
Alright, so if there wasn't much of a crosswind today, and my calculations are correct, we should find my knife in a tree, which is about 100 metres now from where I was standing. Bullseye.
So folks, tip number 8 is sustainability. Make sure wherever you go that you take all the rubbish with you when you leave. We want to make sure that we keep Australia beautiful. So then we set out again and we walked and walked and walked
And walked. Hey, stop. What is it? Kath, what is that? Looks like some sort of a shack. Come around this way.
Careful.
Who would be living out here? Definitely someone. Just take it steady. Hold on, what is that? Who is that? Oh, Rumour has it the notorious hitman Pistol Paddy hides out in these parts in a yellow buggy. That must be him there. Be very quiet. Hopefully, if we pass by and ignore him, he'll ignore us. Well, folks, thanks so much for joining us again on the Adventures of Annaburu Homestead. I'm Farmyard Fee.
And I'm Kickham Killing Kath. And a thank you to our sponsors, Aussie Prepper.
Thanks, Aussie Prepper. And Kath, there's still one other thing that you need to tell us.
Oh, tip number 10.
That's right.
In conclusion to our Adventures of Annaburu Homestead, our tip number 10 is always sit back and enjoy the beauty of the Australian outback.